We are neither nutritionists or medical providers. The topics discussed on this show are from our own research and experiences. Please consult your medical provider before attempting anything discussed on this show. Welcome to another episode of Sjogren'S.
This is Ryan,
And this is Lupe.
and this is your podcast discussing how to live an active and healthy lifestyle despite the diagnosis of Sjogren's.
And today, did you guys miss me saying that?
I don't think I missed you saying that.
Yeah, you did. You did.
We're going to take it back. We've got a lot of new listeners, that sounded weird.
Sure, I'm good with that.
A lot of new people watching us now that we're doing live.
A lot of new people, a lot of new followers, a lot of new. Yeah, we got a lot of new messages, asking a lot of questions, a lot of people that have been recently diagnosed. So we wanted to take it back to basics.
And with that, we're going to go over a whole 10. I'm doing jazz hands.
Yes.
10 common symptoms of Sjogren's. And basically, I'm going to say the symptom. Lupe's going to discuss how it affects her. If you're watching live, go ahead and throw in the comments how maybe it affects you, and we can have a little debate or conversation, I should say, not debate, over these symptoms. If you don't want to jump in, that's fine too. If you do jump in and we don't get to your comment, we apologize.
We will certainly try though. But I'm going to talk about when you mentioned a symptom, I'm going to say how I felt before I was diagnosed and how I feel now and how I deal with it. Because a lot of things that you're feeling, you don't realize that they're related to Sjogren's.
So dry eyes.
Oh my God. You know what? That's how I started. Well, I shouldn't say that, but that was one of my first symptoms, dry eyes. They were always itchy, scratchy. They felt like they had sand in them all the time, and no relief, nothing whatsoever. And very sensitive to light, inside or out, blinding. It was terrible. She
was always rocking the big old superstar sunglasses.
Yeah. I remember one time we were in your Jeep driving somewhere, and this glare from the sun, it was just awful, and I couldn't stand it. It was bad. So I didn't know what was going on with me. I just know the sun really bothered me. Eye drops weren't working.
But you thought that was your normal. You didn't know that it was an issue.
Well, it wasn't always my normal. It just got worse, progressively worse. And that's when it really started bothering me, because I think I didn't know I had dry eyes at the time. But it got progressively worse, and the light bothered me. Very sensitive to light.
Now, was that ever a complaint when you went in to see an eye doctor?
No, and you know what's funny? I had been wearing glasses and contacts for years, and then I still kept wearing my contacts, but I thought maybe they were dirty. That's why my eyes were itchy, so I kept cleaning them, switching them out, and it definitely was not that. So that's a major symptom. Hi, everybody. Lori, Christina, Julie. Hi.
All right. So dry eyes. Let's move on to dry mouth. When did dry mouth become an issue for you?
I never knew that I had dry mouth. Did not have a clue, because I don't know if I ever produced saliva. I don't know when I stopped producing it. The doctors, the dentists, every time I went to the dentist, they never told me. But you know what? I've always been really anal with my oral hygiene, so I rarely had cavities. So I did not know that I had dry mouth until I went to my first rheumatologist, Dr. Reba, and he used one of those, what do you call them? Popsicle sticks?
The tongue suppressor.
Yeah, whatever you call him. And he just kind of stuck it in the side of my mouth, and it got stuck. He's like, "Yep, you have dry mouth." No idea. So
no dentist or oral hygienist ever commented on you having dry mouth?
Never.
Which we're going to tie into at the end of discussing these 10 things. But All right, my mic is off. So Lupe's going to carry the conversation for a second.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Okay, so oh, I don't know what Brian was saying, but I'm gonna respond to Julie's comment. She asked, "Do I still wear contacts with dry eyes?" I do not. I stopped wearing contacts several years ago because my eyes are really dry, and even I don't remember the brand of my contact lenses. I think they were AccuView, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but they were really thin and really comfortable. But I absolutely do not wear them anymore. I can't. My eyes are really, really dry. So I don't. To answer your question. I'm just gonna. He's having issues with his mic, so I'm just gonna go on. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So dental issues, I do have, for those of you who have been following me for a while, I do have an implant on my right side, right lower side. I got an infection, and I did not know that I had an infection. You're welcome. I did not know that I had an infection, and my cheek just kind of started swelling up, but it didn't hurt. So that's why I didn't know. I went to the doctor and to the dentist, and she said, you have a major infection. We have to remove that tooth. It's basically dead. So a few months later, I'll talk about that later. But I do have an implant. But because I'm really anal with my teeth, I go to the dentist every 3 to 4 months, and I think that's why I started, because maybe subconsciously I did know I had dry mouth. I don't know. Brian's back.
I'm back, and I guess I don't know if my mic is working, but Jeanette said my voice is booming enough that she can hear me through yours. So I'm just going to kind of lean in.
Can you guys hear Brian? Usually I could hear you in my ear, and I can't this time. So
yeah, I can hear me in my ear now. Jeanette, is my mic good?
This is what happens when you go live.
Oh, that's the beauty of live. Well, I'm just going to use a booming voice and see if it's the microphone itself. So we left off on dry mouth when I left.
Yes, we talked about dry mouth. How I didn't know that I had dry mouth when nobody told me that I had dry mouth until my rheumatologist, and I talked about a little bit about my implant. But we'll dive into my implant on another episode. So they know that I'm anal. I go to the dentist every 3 to 4 months for cleaning. So
cool. And we're getting some comments that people can hear me just fine. So we'll go with that.
Oh, cool.
I hear me in the mic now.
I can't hear you at all, but
we'll go with that.
That's
Sorry
cool.
Again, guys. Live, it happens. So along with dry mouth, because of dry mouth and the lack of saliva, because saliva acts as a protectant as well, people have dental issues. Now, you've said you've always stayed on top of your dental care. Did you have a lot of cavities, and that's what triggered you into good dental care, or did you just have like really killer dental insurance and the hygienist was cute?
No, that's not true. One time I went to the dentist a long time ago. HMO, okay, HMO guys, this is funny. She was flossing. It was a long time ago, and I was a young adult, and she was flossing me, and I guess my gum started bleeding a little bit, and she's like, "Does your face bleed when you wash it?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "Well, neither should your mouth."
You know what's funny? I've had a dentist say you should brush and floss vigorously, and a little blood's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyways, so no, I just growing up I had buck teeth, and so I was embarrassed,
Yeah.
And so I think I got braces, and I started taking really good care of my teeth. So I think that's where it started, because again, I didn't know that I had dry mouth. So
cool. Now, the next one, number 4 on the list, is waking up with aches and pains. Now, aches and pains are part of your norm. But when you wake up in the morning, is it worse?
Yes, absolutely. When I wake up in the morning, I am as stiff as a board. I feel as stiff as a board. It takes me a few minutes. I kind of have to, start rolling around slowly. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain when I wake up, and I'm really fatigued. And I have to kind of go over the steps in my mind, wake up a little bit early, take about 5 minutes, okay, I have to get up, roll out of bed, remove the covers, stuff like that.
Now, I can relate to this next one.
Yeah.
Dry and itchy skin.
Oh, because he has a major sunburn. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Dry and itchy skin. Yes.
You're pretty religious with lotion. You have a routine of applying lotion a few times a day.
Well, when I get out of the shower, obviously I do that.
Now, have you always done that?
No, I don't think so because I haven't always. I think I've always had dry skin, but I didn't know it was so dry until my Sjogren'S was really out there. So I do apply lotion, and I don't like the greasy lotion. I think because my skin is so dry that I don't like greasy lotions. You know which ones from
Yeah.
Bed and Bath and Victoria's Secrets. I just like Lubriderm from Walmart or Target, and that's good enough for me. But yeah, my skin is always itchy, very dry. Right now that you guys can see me, when I went to Dr. Reba, my rheumatologist, this is what he would do, right? Remember? He would pinch me right here. And when he removed his fingers, if it stayed up, he said I was dehydrated.
So for those of you listening, not watching, she's pinching the skin on the back of her hand, and we would do that in the rescue ambulance to check water retention, dehydration, and we called it tenting. So if you pinch yourself and your skin doesn't go back to its normal position pretty quickly, then it's a sign of dehydration.
So I'm pretty hydrated, guys, but my skin is still dry. If I use chemicals like cleaning around the house, or I wash my hands after I use the restrooms, if I don't apply lotion, it just feels really dry, really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I asked my sisters, hey, I text them before I knew I had Sjogren's, hey, what do you guys use, for dry hands or for dry skin? And, they gave me all kinds of options, and you have to try and see what works for you. We all have different levels of dryness, I guess, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
Next on the list is you're always tired. Fatigue, constant fatigue, chronic fatigue. When did that start for you?
It's hard to say. Before I was diagnosed, I did go to the doctor, and I would say, I'm always tired. I'm always fatigued. They would draw blood. Oh, you're anemic. That's one thing I've always been, is anemic. My diet wasn't the best back then. It's not till I got older that I started changing my diet. But I'm always tired. They always used to say, oh, it's anemia. You need to eat better, take vitamins, whatever. But I'm always fatigued. I think I've gotten used to it. It has to be really bad, or I have to be flaring in order for it to bring me down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I go home and I sit, I'm going to fall asleep, always.
Now, this next one isn't something I've ever heard you complain about, nor have I seen, but it's enlarged salivary glands. Now, some people have such enlarged salivary glands that they're visible. The bumps are actually visible. And that's something you've never really had to deal with.
Where exactly?
Around your mouth.
Oh, around here.
Cheeks.
Oh, no. No, I've never had that. No, I don't think so.
Which is fortunate for you.
What do you think?
No, I've never noticed.
No, the doctor has never said.
I mean, I think if they were visible to the point, you'd look in the mirror and be like, what's wrong with me?
I mean, he did touch me around here, and he said, fine, everything was fine.
So if any of you have experienced enlarged salivary glands to the point where they were visible from the outside, let us know, chime in, educate us a little bit on what that was like, what Doc said about it, share share your experience.
If I'm out and about, doing something out of my norm, or I've just done too much, I can feel my body shutting down, and that's tired.
Yeah.
But I could definitely feel it shutting down, and when I sit down, I could just feel the tiredness. However you say it, it's just kind of like a warm blanket. It comes over me. That's how I feel. That's the only way I can explain it, really.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna rearrange this list a little bit. Your nerves feeling funny. That's something I've never really heard you complain about. Any weird tingleness or just not feeling right.
Well, like sometimes my fingers are numb.
Well, that's because
They
you have
do get
sausage
tingly.
fingers.
Oh my god, if you guys could really see it, my fingers are really swollen right now. Uh, I think just probably my hands and my wrists, sometimes they get tingly, but I've never experienced that, or maybe it's been part of my norm so long that I don't really notice it, but sometimes my fingers and my hands do get tingly.
And we've had people on the show that suffer from neuropathy pretty bad, and they've kind of talked about it, but I guess in my mind, I can't imagine what it feels like because I've never felt it, and I understand what they're telling me, but it's one of those things I just can't wrap my brain around.
Yeah. They get numb sometimes, but that's not really. Yeah, they get numb and do get tingly, but it's just my fingers and my hands.
And speaking of wrapping your brain around, brain fog.
My brain fog is terrible. I'm sure you guys can relate. All the time, I lose words. Sometimes I'm talking right now and I forget a word and I have to change my sentence, or I have to use a really, really small word.
That's why I'm here, just to carry the conversation.
Yeah. A really small word, but I do get brain fog a lot when I always say eat healthy, change your diet, no sugar, no dairy, because when I eat that kind of stuff, junk, sugar, dairy, my brain fog is worse. Like I can't form sentences.
She uses
So
more sign language, and
yeah.
she doesn't know how to sign.
I want to learn though. That's on my bucket list.
It's a lot of gesture.
That's on my list. But he knows, he understands it. But yeah, my brain fog is pretty bad sometimes.
And has that ever hindered you from putting yourself in social situations?
Definitely, I think before Sjogren'S, and this is one thing that Sjogren'S did take from me, and I've said it before on the show. I used to be really social. I mean, really flirty, not with guys, but you know what I mean? Just really social. And yeah, I don't want to put myself out there, because how am I going to carry a conversation if I forget certain words, or I'm mid sentence and what was I going to say? And actually, I do it to Brian a lot. I don't know if you guys do it to anybody, but when we're having a conversation and I'm done with whatever I'm saying, and then he'll start talking, and then I remember what I wanted to tell him an hour ago, and I just cut him off, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And I think it used to bother him, I think, because I could tell on his facial expression. Correct me if I'm wrong. It did.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But we learned together. Once I realized it wasn't just her being a rude, that it was because of, and now it's, if she interrupts me, I stop because I know why. The thought just came to her, or a thought just came to her, and she wants to get it out before she may possibly lose it again. So
And I did tell him when I did notice his facial expressions, because I did notice before I said anything a couple of times, and I noticed his facial expression, and I said, "Look, I know I'm being rude. I'm not trying to. It's just I have a thought for 1 second, and if I don't say what I want to say, or if I wait till you finish, the thought is gone." And it's like it's important, And sometimes it has nothing to do with what we are talking about, but I got to get it out.
so conversations are fun sometimes.
Sometimes
we'll be talking about the park and then the beach and then flying kites and paper airplanes, and we should go on a hike, and That's all in the course of one breath.
But I mean, I'm sure many of you guys can relate to that.
But
So
no, I mean, it did used to upset me, but once I realized what was going on, I'm like, okay. And then funny thing is now sometimes she's like, okay, go ahead. I'm like, I forgot what I was saying. So brain fog by proxy or something.
yeah.
So, you know, I think one of the key factors in this is that we feel something, whether it's we're always scratching our arm and it doesn't click that that's dry skin or I need to put lotion on. And then it becomes a habit. So we start compensating for this dry skin by constantly applying lotion. Therefore, it's not a complaint when we go and see the doctor. Now, this is more important for those of you that think you may have Sjogren's or an autoimmune. And for those of you who are already diagnosed, maybe you don't have some of these symptoms in your life, or I shouldn't say don't have, haven't been diagnosed with some of these symptoms. But now you can go, oh, wait, I guess dry skin is something new that I now need to factor in my everyday life. But the important thing is, she went to the dentist and oral hygienist regularly, and they never diagnosed dry mouth.
Never.
She complained about dry eye to the eye doctor, and they never really diagnosed dry eye. And this comes back to the education piece. Some of you might be learning for the first time that, hey, that constant itch, maybe it's dry skin and not just I have a constant itch or dry mouth or dry eye or, you know, insert symptom here. So as we become more educated, it's really our duty to educate the doctors that we deal with. We might go to a dentist that's never treated a Sjogren's patient. This is a true story. We once went to Walmart optometry for an eye exam. And this eye doctor had never, she knew what Sjogren's was, but she had never treated a patient with Sjogren's before. And she was very kind, very polite, great bedside manner, and actually asked permission to run tests on Lupe that she's never run before because she's never needed to before. But she living test dummy right here in Walmart optometry. But you got so much bang for the buck that you spent with her.
Yeah, and I went to Walmart because, and you know what, their equipment was really old. I should post a picture because I took pictures, and I should post a picture of what do you call those things?
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah, but geez.
Brain fog. But it's up to us to help educate and not just go ahead.
I went to I went to Walmart because they have an awesome frame selection, you know, and they just have just hundreds of frames, and they have a 90-day return policy, no questions asked. If you're not happy, if you don't like the color, you change your mind, whatever, you could return them within 90 days, and you have a year warranty. If you break them, if you scratch them, just don't lose them. But you could bring them in pieces if your dog ate them or you ran over them. But that's why I like going to them. And this lady, the doctor, she was so awesome. I'm definitely going to go back there again.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She was pretty cool. So back to the education piece. As we learn more about what's going on with our bodies, we can then in turn help others understand. And more importantly, help doctors understand that might not have ever dealt with the issue. So if you're feeling something as little as it may seem, bring it up next time you go see a rheumatologist. Medicine changes, science changes, medicines come and go. You never know where that conversation is going to lead. So, you know, it's up to us. And again, I know we talked about this last episode, but the foundation, Sjogren's.org, has great downloadable materials for free. And they have patient and they have for the medical provider. So if you're like me, I can understand the patient stuff. The medical provider, I'm grabbing a dictionary to figure out what they're talking about. But the doctors, nurses, dentists, they understand that language, and they're free. Print them off, send them a URL, do something to give them these materials because You never know. They might have 4 or 5 patients with dry mouth and they've just never seen it, never diagnosed it, don't know how to handle it. But educating them, just like we educate ourselves, can help many others.
Yeah. Remember one time, kind of off topic, but off topic, but not really. Remember, my insurance had changed, and I was looking for a new rheumatologist because I wasn't going to be able to go to Dr. Reba anymore. And we went to this doctor, and when we told him why I was there for, he excused himself for like 15 minutes, and he was looking up what Sjogren'S was. It was funny.
We both believe he was Googling Sjogren'S.
Yeah, and then that's when I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna pay out of pocket. I don't care. Anyways, nor here nor there. But
so yeah, let's run through these 10 things really quick again, just to recap before we close. But they are dry eyes, dry mouth, dental problems, wake up feeling with aches and pains, dry and itchy skin, chronic fatigue, cough that isn't going away. Did we talk about that?
Oh, we didn't talk about.
I'm
like,
cough.
It doesn't feel like 10.
I can't count to 10 right now.
I guess not.
Apologies.
Tired. Cough. Also, it started with the cough. Before I was diagnosed, I had this really dry cough that would never, ever go away. And I remember it was like a seasonal cough. Like I would only get it when it was cold around Christmas time. That's what I remember. And for like 3 months, it would go away. And then when it would come back again when it got cold again. And I went to the doctor, and they would give me a cough syrup with codeine. And it didn't work. Nothing worked. Cough drops, nothing ever worked. I just had this chronic cough all the time.
And because of that, she carries this little tiny water bottle nowadays.
Every day.
For those of you that can see it, she's going to show it off. And when I say little, I'm joking.
It's big. It's a Hydro Flask. I love pink. They should become sponsors.
But she crushes a few of those a day.
Yeah, a couple of those a day with cold water. But so if you have a chronic cough, go to the doctor, check it out. The doctor gave me, after a long time, my first rheumatologist, he gave me something called gabapentin, right? That's what it was. And I used it for a long time, and it did take away my cough. But after several years, I started feeling like I was having early symptoms of Alzheimer's. And when I mentioned that to the doctor, he started looking through the meds that I was taking, and he's like, that one, cut it. And my cough came back, but so did my memory. It was crazy. Yeah.
So I'm glad I went to recap. So the cough, enlarged glands, brain fog, and neuropathy, or your nerves are feeling a little funny.
That was 10?
That was 10.
That was quick.
Hey, we're getting it down. Hey, for those of you who joined us tonight, we thank you so very much. We had to come on early. I've got an appointment here in 15 minutes down the street. And so thank you for jumping in early with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please follow us on social. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And
if you have any topics, any questions that you want us to talk about, or if you would like to be a guest, reach out to us, send us a message. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, like you said. And yeah. Hi, everybody. Jenna. Hi. Until next time, sip constantly and stay hydrated, guys. We're here for you. Yeah.